Jack Butland is back in goal, having become England's youngest ever international keeper a few weeks ago. But the likes of Oxlade, Chamberlain and Welbeck stay with the seniors, and John Joe Shelby's also with Roy Hodgson's squad because he's suspended for this game tonight. Raheem Sterling becomes the 33rd different player to feature for England in the campaign, while Marvin Sordell's recalled after being left out of the final group game against Norway.
Good evening, everyone. England will shape up with a back four, obviously predominantly 3 of the 4 from Spurs. Smith and Rose, real attacking fullbacks. Real experience, I think, and strength in Rodwell and Henderson in the middle. And a lot of flair. ZAHA, Sterling, pace on the flanks, trickery of INCE, and a real cutting edge in Sordell.
One of Serbia's most highly regarded youngsters, Darko LAZOVIC, has dropped down from the full squad to the under-21s for these playoff matches. But it's significant that 9 potential starters tonight have been retained by Sinisa Mihajlovic for the World Cup qualifier against Belgium. Among them, Manchester City's Matija Nastasic. They're also without 2 of the most recent team through suspension. But 3 of this side are internationals, including the keeper, Branimir Aleksic.
A Serbian side that will come with, I think, a very strong back four. Again, the 2 holding midfield players. The big matchup is going to be from the full-back positions against England's wide flankers, and LAZOVIC really is the talisman.
And the referee tonight is DENIZ AYTEKIN, the German, who has an almost unparalleled record for dishing out penalties and red cards. 7 of each in only 12 games so far this season. It's a year since Jack Rodwell last featured for the under-21, since when he's won 2 caps for the full England team. Now he's back for the Young Lions, hoping to reach the European Championships for the 3rd time in his career. And like Rodwell, Jack Butland returns to the 21s as a full international. 6 years ago it was Germany, 4 years ago Wales, and last time out Romania. Now it's Serbia who stand between England and a place in next summer's European Championships. England saw off those 3 rivals to reach the finals. Now they aim for a 4th consecutive successful playoff to be one of the 8 in with a chance of glory in Israel. England kicking from right to left in this first half. Now winning the first free kick of the game, courtesy of Adam Smith.
Adam already high on the right-hand side, and it's important that England get the ball forward into those attacking positions early. Crisp passing, because exactly that Stuart was talking about before the game. And the referee started already.
36 seconds.
Quite right too, though, I've got to say. Jim, that's a poor challenge. It's late. On Craig Dawson, you can see nasty challenge on the right ankle. Referee's quite right to pull that up and issue a yellow card.
DJORDJE DESPOTOVIC, who's scored 6 goals in 8 games for his club so far this season, and is the the first man to incur the wrath of DENIZ AYTEKIN. He won't be the last. Layoff from Sordell, not where he intended. And Serbia do have the ability to be able to break with pace. LAZOVIC held up well by Rose. Gudelia forward from full-back. Well, if he makes contact with that, it's spectacular. And if he doesn't,
it was sloppy play from Sordell, and the ball broke down, and quickly Serbia are on the attack. It is an extravagant effort. Fortunately, no contact made.
Butland just shanking one out of his penalty area straight out for a throw to the Serbs. Away by Kolka.
Just a few early nerves, Jim. You can understand it. Very, very big game for these young under-21 internationals this evening. They know how important it is. And I don't feel that the game has to be won tonight. It's all about real concentration throughout the evening.
Well, last time out in Chesterfield, England were very disappointing against Norway in the final qualifier. They won it by a goal to nil. It was a scoreline that didn't really tell the story of the game, and had the Norwegians won by a couple of goals, I don't think there could have been too many complaints from England. Now, only 4 of that side are retained today, but nevertheless, it has been hammered home to the England players this week that they have to improve on that performance if they're to progress 2 legs against a side who are unbeaten in 9 games. The referee just again laying down the law. WILFRIED ZAHA, the player being spoken to on that occasion. Rodwell will leave the free kick here for Dawson. He's missed only one of the previous 8 qualifiers, and that because of suspension. Incidentally, the yellow cards may well have a bearing on who does progress. England coming into this match with Smith and Rose, the 2 full-backs, one booking away from a suspension. But more than half of the starting lineup of Serbia will miss that second leg if they're booked tonight.
But the referee's certainly taken a grip early on. He's had a word with a few players, just trying to calm down that early enthusiasm. An interesting position Thomasin's taking up, just playing a little bit deeper than Marvin Sordell, looking to break into the spaces down the sides of the central defenders. Really important that he has clever movement tonight, to be able to find him in those spaces between what is a very, very congested Serbia defence.
Excellent interception by Danny Rose, and a crucial one as well. Throw will be taken by Gudelia, who plays his club football in the Netherlands with Nat Breda.
Well tracked by Jack Rodwell. He spotted it early and physically very, very strong as he got across the Serbian.
England's record is very impressive. 8 wins in the last 9 games, 6 home wins in a row. And in those 6 games, they've scored 22 goals and conceded only 1. But keeping a clean sheet tonight, absolutely imperative. I don't think England would be too unhappy if this were to end 0-0. And Serbia denied an away goals. Brilliant play by INCE here. The linesman is flagged. It's a free kick to England in a very promising position.
Jim, it's a fantastic run. Stephen Cork has seen Thomasins make that run down the channel. And then when he's there, real clever, real flair to twist between the 2 players, get in behind the defender and draw the foul.
And another yellow card was shown there, I think, for dissent as opposed to for the perpetration of the original foul. Well, that's 2 Serbian players on yellow cards already. I'm pretty sure it was Pantic who was booked, and that will rule him out of the second leg, the centre-half.
And with Corker, Dawson and Rodwell, a real threat England have in set pieces.
The 2 centre-halves have 6 goals between them in this qualifying campaign. Dawson usually makes his run in towards that near post area. I think it was he that they tried to find, but hits his ball just a little bit too flat.
Really disappointing. Great opportunity, poor delivery.
Wonderful switch of play from Smith. Now Raheem Sterling, first opportunity for the 17-year-old. And he's going to be booked as well. Well, he certainly laid down a marker in the early stages. This is no surprise to either of the benches. The referee does have an unenviable reputation for dishing yellow cards out for absolutely nothing at all. I'm afraid he's lived up to that there with Raheem Sterling. Well,
he's just getting a little bit excited. I don't think there's any malice, certainly, in the challenge from Raheem Sterling. He strikes with his left foot, and he just bundles the forward Markovic over. Poor decision.
That was a little bit nervy. Jack Butland just lost the geography of the left-hand edge of the penalty area there. No harm done. Rodwell able to bring the ball forward. And the free kick given against Malbasic.
Problem is now, Jim, really that should have been a yellow card. Exactly the same as a challenge from Raheem Sterling.
Excellent play by ZAHA, who's in wonderful form for Crystal Palace at the moment. And in the end, it was blocked by INCE, although I'm sure the effort was going wide after the first deflection. Back out for Rose. Sterling had an excellent game for Liverpool here at Carrow Road a fortnight ago in the Barclays Premier League.
You can already see the trickery. Thomasins, WILFRIED ZAHA, real flair, receiving the ball, twisting, turning, and being really positive.
This is Adam Smith. Kantic with the clearance. Serbia's record away from home has been very impressive. They've got unbeaten in the last 5 matches on the road in competitive games. They've only conceded 4 goals in their 8 qualifiers, England only 3, so you would imagine that it sensibly could be quite a tight game. There's a more adventurous forward line named by England tonight than on occasion in the past. Smith doing well to block the run from MLADENOVIC. Here's Craig Dawson. Now Rose. Sterling.
It is just very important, Jim, that when we get into that final third and the ball does break down, that we're very, very aware of that counter-attack. Stuart was very adamant about that he knew how the concentration, certainly the 2 centre-halves, has to be impeccable, because they will break very quickly from any turnovers, wherever they are on the field.
Here's Jordan Henderson. Sterling. ZAHA turning away from what initially was a blind alley. Henderson looking to switch the play quickly. Something else England have been working on in training this week. The fact that the Serbians like to condense play inside the final third. Well, they do have an opportunity here with Malbasic on the counter-attack. Only has DESPOTOVIC for support. Force for Markovic.
It was good defending in the end from Stephen Korkov. He had to backpedal for quite a while. Again, you can see Adam Smith high up the field, and it's left to the 2 centre-halves and the recovering Henderson to block the attempt high and wide.
Henderson. Rodwell, just a little bit too much on it for Marvin Sordell.
Good to see Jack Rodwell getting in an advanced position, and this is where you just require that little bit of composure, the quality and weight of pass that would have put Sordell in. Good position though found by Jack Rodwell.
He hasn't featured in any of the last 6 games, Jack Rodwell. This is first since his big money move to Manchester City. This is his 21st cap at this level. He did feature in the 2009 and 2011 European Championships. England with success in the playoffs in the past, including the first leg against Romania here a couple of years ago. Wonderful start for England in terms of possession, who sometimes find it a little bit difficult to get out of the blocks in these under-21 matches, but more than 70% through the opening 10 minutes.
The intent is certainly there, Jim, and I think that's because of the strikers that Stuart has named. They're players that are going to come and look and want to receive the ball. The 2 fullbacks pushed high up and joining in like this.
And here is Sterling. He's got Danny Rose outside him. Good first-time ball in from Rose. An excellent piece of defending from Milijevic. Back from Dawson. Now Kolka. Real familiarity between these 4 at the back, as you were saying, Clive. 3 of them Tottenham players. Danny Rose ostensibly a Tottenham player, although he's on loan at Sunderland, so they know each other's game so well. Rose with a very clever ball in here. And what a chance for Tom Ince.
I think he's been flagged offside, but what a fantastic cross from Danny Rose and good movement from Thomas Ince. You can see he comes off the back, and as the ball's played, certainly not offside. Fantastic ball, and really he'd be bitterly disappointed he hasn't got that header on target. Great movement, good chance.
It's been a really good goal scoring form, Tom. It's 6 goals in 8 league games so far for Blackpool this season.
He just didn't head it, did he? He just didn't get that forehead on it. But already really encouraging signs from the 2 fullbacks, in particular Danny Rose down this left-hand side. England playing through the middle and switching the ball very, very quickly. The two wide players coming in off the lines, giving those fullbacks the opportunity to get forward.
Layoff from INCE for Rodwell. Kolka. Jordan Henderson, England's captain, starting his 16th consecutive competitive game for the under-21s. Excellent piece of play by Rodwell. It's a good pass as well. Sordell's got INCE in the middle. And again, good defending from the skipper, Medijevic, to make sure that the ball didn't get there.
Well, the skipper, Medijevic, has made two fantastic interceptions. Good recovery from Jack Rodwell. Great run from Sordell, and he tries to pick Thomas INCE out. Good play movement from England. The way they're playing, the chance is going to come.
First corner of the game. Again, Dawson and Kolka, the two centre-halves, both wait. Dawson peels away and makes that near-post run. Back from Smith. Rose. Centre-halves have remained forward here. Almost falls for Rodwell. And he does get the shot in. Well, comfortably dealt with by Aleksic.
Kolka stays forward. It's really a high ball in from Danny Rose, flicked on, and he tries to get the shot off first. A little bit of a ricochet, and the second one he just can't keep it down with enough power.
Push on Sordell. No yellow card for Pantic. Aleksandar Jankovic is the man who's in charge of this Serbian under-21 side. They've only been beaten twice in 15 games since he took over. He's also the head coach of Red Star Belgrade, which is why there's such a Red Star influence throughout this team. Half of the outfield players play under him at club level as well. So that is onside here, and again INCE waits in the middle. It's pulled back instead towards ZAHA. The counter-attack remains an omnipresent threat. Danny Rose did really well there, made up an awful lot of ground. DESPOTOVIC looked favourite, but Rose got there first.
It's a fantastic recovery from Danny Rose. He was a good 10 yards behind when that ball was played forward. But already Thomas INCE has really made some fantastic little clever runs. 10, 15-yard runs in off of Sordell as he makes a move. And he's going to be a real threat all evening. Just needs to be found with one precise pass, as Danny Rose did with the headed opportunity.
Sterling. That's another wonderful ball through. Here's a chance for Thomas INCE. His first touch just too heavy. And that allowed Aleksic to come out and make the block. And INCE knows by his own high standards that's another chance he should have been able to take.
What he knows, Jim, is that he's had a heavy touch, and it really is it's a great ball from Raheem Sterling. Good time run from Thomas once again. Now can he finish? And that was what let him down. That first touch, 2 yards out of his feet, and the goalkeeper Aleksic did well. He was quick, he was sharp, and he got to make the challenge. Thomas will be disappointed. What a glorious opportunity.
Plenty of positive signs for England inside the opening 15 minutes or so. Very good block denies Raheem Sterling the opportunity to get into a shooting position.
But already the pace, the movement of the England front line is causing all sorts of problems and creating chances. Sure, be delighted with the start they've made, Jim. No doubt about it.
Well, the Serbian side have lost to France and Sweden in friendlies last year. got a very good record though. Only failed to score once in qualifying. They managed to keep clean sheets for fun, but are lucky to still have a clean sheet against their name with only 20% of this game gone here in East Anglia. The road from East Anglia to Israel, of course, goes via southern Serbia on Tuesday. That trip concentrating English minds tonight. Serbia, like so many of their counterparts, have a fantastic home record. And crucial that England take something tangible to defend to that second leg, 100-odd miles south of Belgrade on Tuesday. In from Henderson, held up well by Sordell.
What they must do, Jim, is just keep the tempo. Keep playing the way they are. Lots of confidence, really moving the ball quickly. Great little runs off of the ball as well. And the opportunities will come.
Another free kick given, this time against Gudelia. As Gudelia moans about the decision, Rose very quickly takes a free kick for Sterling. Well, he's not looked out of place. You wouldn't have expected him to. Have you seen any of Liverpool's performances this season?
No, he's a young man with a lot of confidence and a really bright future. Good, quick play and combination with Danny Rose there. A little bit of a disappointment that the cross didn't find an England forward.
Serbia have had very few opportunities to get in and around the edge of the England penalty area so far. LAZOVIC, regarded by many as one of the principal attacking threats for Serbia. Named in the Serbian League Team of the Season. He's certainly a player whose movement and trickery England are very aware of. He featured against Scotland in a World Cup qualifier last month. He will take this first Serbian corner of the game. Delia, the fullback, prowling with intent. 5 targets inside that penalty area. Is he playing for Jack Butland?
That's where concentration has to be at its highest level, and Stephen Corker just allowed Markovic a little bit too much space there.
Henderson's ball forward, bypassing Milivojevic in the midfield. Sterling. And the referee waves him up. It's a goal kick.
Now I think Raheem maybe just chose the wrong way to go. The referee was not going to be fooled by that. He's looking inside for someone to play. Then once he drives into the box, he's just not direct enough and positive enough to run at the defender. You can see a left arm on the shoulder, but I think Raheem goes to ground a little bit too easily there. The referee quite right.
Wishing to labour the point about this referee, you have to be careful. He's already on a yellow card, Raheem Sterling, for an innocuous looking challenge. Milivojevic with the ball forward. It's DESPOTOVIC. Milivojevic trying to get Malbasic clear down that Serbian left. Good piece of defending from Smith. Now, poor defensive header from Pantic. Smith. Kolke. England, without tempting fate, yet to concede a goal while Steve Kolke has been on the pitch in the England 21 side.
Jim, why did you say that?
If I was tempting fate, I would be mentioning the fact that Jack Butland's never conceded a goal on home soil for the under-21s.
Jim, shush. It's a long way to go. But certainly encouraging so far, I have to say. Stuart will be delighted with the way his team started.
Go back to a game in the group stages of 2011 European Championships. For the last time that England failed to score, that was against Ukraine. France, the last team to prevent England scoring in England. more than 3.5 years ago now, a night when England were hugely disappointing in Nottingham. Here's RODWELL. Worth an attempt.
And it's good play again from Thomas Ince. The ball well worked. Thomas with a number of players around him, but aware enough just to cut the ball back. Unfortunately, Jack hasn't got his shooting boots on it quite right yet. Again, the ball just a little bit too far away from him, fires it over the bar. I think he'll be pleased, but just a little bit apprehensive that his side haven't taken the early chances that they've created.
2 on target for 70-odd possession over a quarter of the game, possibly a disappointing return.
But you'd never know by his expression, would you, Jim?
Wouldn't want to play poker against him.
You wouldn't want to play against him, I tell you. I only say that because I've got the scars to prove it.
Never prepared to come second, Stuart Pearce. Oh, now the referee, DENIZ AYTEKIN, has moved away from his early flurry of yellow cards. Challenge from MLADENOVIC.
The good thing is that Adam's been positive. He's got himself high up on that right side. There's good movement coming in off the line. It's just a bit of dust, Adam. Look at him. He's okay.
Set piece is a crucial part of Stuart Pearce's armoury. RODWELL, Colker, Dawson all provide the aerial threat, but they need better delivery than has been provided by and large so far.
That's 2 Thomas has taken, and they're not been in an area that the big boys can attack.
Henderson. Now Rose. Back for Sterling, who's the 22nd different player to make their debuts since the start of last season for the under-21s. Strength and depth at this level. It's been needed because of the progression, some of the big hitters through to Roy Hodgson's setup. Basic able to get the ball away. He's one of the players based outside Serbia. Plays as a club football for Offenheim in Germany.
This is a period where we need to keep that tempo, Jim. We mustn't let it drop off.
The referee said that was a dive from Danny Rose.
No, I'm sorry, referee, that's wrong. That's a foul. I know Danny's knocked it out of his feet, but there's absolutely no doubt. You see the right leg come across and take Danny's legs. There's no way Danny can progress from that situation. It's a free kick, or should be.
Well, you think what Raheem Sterling was booked for in an almost identical part of the pitch to that challenge from LAZOVIC. Free kick again, this time to Serbia. Milivojevic, MLADENOVIC, Medijevic. It's a decent ball inside the penalty area and a glorious opportunity. The first real clear sight of goal. And Milinovic has missed it.
Milinovic should have scored, but LAZOVIC was the one that was elusive. He got himself into a great position and he crossed a fabulous ball. It's probably just a fraction too high for Milinovic. He should have kept it down and scored. Great opportunity. That's where England cannot afford to switch off for that set play.
Wow, he has also been in decent domestic form this season. Luka Milinovic, joint top scorer at Red Star Belgrade this season with 5 goals. And a couple of goals in this qualifying campaign as well. Here's Sordal. He's done really well. And Sordal getting the better of Medijevic. Couldn't beat Pantic, who concedes the corner, which is England's second. Dawson making his run late this time. Alexic's got himself stranded, but the referee deemed that it was a foul by Sordell. Second leg of this game, of course, coming up on Tuesday. We're on air at 4:30 ahead of a 5 o'clock kickoff. That game in high definition, as is the one that immediately follows it. Craig Levine's Scotland taking on Belgium in a World Cup qualifier.
I know I'm biased, Jim, but I think the goalkeeper has drawn a free kick there. There certainly wasn't a lot of contact.
And this is where England have to be wary. A really good strong run. It's LAZOVIC. Well blocked by Danny Rose. Kept his eye on the ball. Now Henderson. Smith. He's made the run in behind Pantic. Time for Dawson, who's a very brisk back pass for Jack Butland. Henderson taking the aerial route out towards Zaha, who hasn't really had too much of an opportunity to shine inside the opening half hour. He's been in great goal-scoring form for Crystal Palace. Four goals in his last 2 games for Palace.
I think he's been hard to find because he's coming in off the line into a congested area. Adam Smith is raiding on the right-hand side and using the space that he's created, but it's meant that he hasn't got a lot of ball, especially to feet. We've only seen a couple of glimpses where the ball's gone into his feet. He is very, very clever, very tricky, but he hasn't had that opportunity, certainly in and around the corner of the box.
Calmly done by Colker. A touch of a man right on top of his game at the moment. Here's Smith. Rodwell closed down
good
very
pressing.
quickly.
Good pressing from Serbia. They've allowed us to play across them back through the goalkeeper, but then when the ball's gone out, they've come up higher and pressed. It's a period in the game now where certainly England need to lift the crowd. They need to get the crowd back on side with an attempt, with something that's going to get them screaming and shouting again.
It's a decent crowd at Carrow Road tonight, and I know that the FA have been indebted to the work that Norwich have done, as Butland sees that one whistle past his post.
You can just sense that the Serbians are growing in confidence. Adam there wasn't too much that he could do apart from heading it down into a dangerous position. It was an opportunity for Markovic, but again a poor strike.
Part of the England game plan was to stretch and try and make the pitch as wide as possible, bearing in mind that Serbia do like to play with quite a condensed, narrow back four. And Stuart Pearce has just been trying to reiterate that point to WILFRIED ZAHA, trying to get him to stay out, hugging that right touchline wherever possible. Henderson. Rose made an excellent early run forward. Finds him via Sterling. Sterling doing well to get the better of Gudelja. A little bit of space opens up here for INCE, who had Rodwell ahead of him.
Real good combination down this left side, Danny Rose and Raheem Sterling. They've certainly combined very, very well on a number of occasions. Good movement for Raheem off the line. Danny progressing wide and high, giving them the opportunity to either put Danny in a wide position or play into Raheem and progress down the middle of the field.
Markovic. Gudelja. For his goalkeeper Aleksic. On his First cap for Serbia under Sinisa Mihajlovic against Sweden back in June. The Serbian national side taking on Belgium tonight. They're just outside the top 30 in the FIFA World Rankings. Deflection. Coming on LAZOVIC's shot, not causing any problems for Butland.
He is a threat though, Jim, there's no doubt. He certainly just takes up little positions in pockets, in holes, just off of the England rear guard, and he is the major threat that they have.
It was Henderson that had made the run forward that time as Sterling came into a more central position. Fluidity being shown by England's midfield here. Henderson. A bit of space for INCE. ZAHA. Really look as though he was attacking MLADENOVIC with any conviction there, and the free kick is given to Serbia.
He gets into a great position. That's where you want WILFRIED ZAHA with the ball, but good defending, and he just pulls the Serbian defender back as he breaks away. Disappointment because he's been starved of the ball. That's exactly the position you want him in possession.
Pearce has lost only 4 of 40 competitive games since he took charge back in 2007. His contract with the FA running out at the end of this European Championship campaign. To say that that will be the end of his tenure. Aleksic getting the ball clear.
Good pressure.
Henderson. England perhaps guilty of just losing their way a little bit over the last 10-15 minutes. After a very bright start. First quarter of the game, they were fantastic. Here's Kolka. That's a very clever piece of play by ZAHA. RODWELL. Not a natural winger, he's done well to get it across. Gudelia with the header away, and LAZOVIC back to help it further clear.
He came about, Jim, from a really positive forward pass from Stephen Kolka.
Well, it was a yelp of pain as MLADENOVIC went down that incurred the wrath of Jordan Henderson. The challenge right in front of the referee.
Yeah, Jordan plays the ball. It's dangerous play because his boot's so high. But the referee, I think, was talking to Jordan immediately, saying, I understand what's happened, but there wasn't any intent from Jordan to make contact with the Serbian player.
It certainly was, in fairness, contact made with the jaw. Perhaps a yelp of pain was justifiable. Not too many chances created by Serbia, to England's credit. More impressive when you consider that they haven't failed to score in a competitive game away from home for 7 years. And that was against Spain. Had success at under 19 level over the last 3 or 4 years, and the majority of that successful squad now split between this team and the full international side. And certainly might be outside the top 30 in the FIFA World Rankings, but expect them to rise quite markedly over the next 4 or 5 years. Now INCE after a poor defensive header from Medijevic. MLADENOVIC coming in from left back. Pantic eventually able to complete the clearance.
I know it's not pretty, Jim, but it's certainly not easy to deal with. And with Sordell at the front, at the point of the attack, the long clearance from the goalkeeper just to turn them round, just to cause 1 or 2 little problems, give the midfield the opportunity to press forward and get higher up the field. Sordell doing well to come back and link up play. Henderson's ball ends up
giving England a throw. The wingers have just swapped flanks for a moment. Sterling out on that right-hand side. ZAHA made the move from out to in to open up a bit of space here for Rose. Away by Gedelia. And it's an England ball. Henderson.
I think he just needs someone who can play into there, the corner of the box, someone who he can play forward to, rather than going square.
Adam Smith upended. And the referee is going to come over and have a word with MLADENOVIC, who becomes the third Serbian player and the fourth overall booked in this first half.
It's positive from Adam. He's played the ball forward, he's clear intent to get behind the defender, and he draws the foul. I make the referee exactly right there. MLADENOVIC knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to prevent Adam from making that forward run and getting in behind him.
He too will be suspended for the second leg now, although they've got a left back available to come back from suspension, Milan Rodic. Here comes this free kick, a better one, and a decent punch clear from Aleksic. Back in from Henderson. Nice control from Sordell. Dawson and Kolka both still forward. And it fell for Rodwell.
It's good pressure. Nice chip ball to the far post, knocked down by Dawson from the challenge. But Rodwell on his unfavoured side, it really is more of a lash and no real control to the shot, high and wide.
Minutes to go to half-time. England's territorial advantage. The impressive possession not counting for anything tangible so far. Away goals do count. If they prove to be necessary. Very nearly were 2 years ago, and England beat Romania 2-1 in the home leg. And Fielding in inspired form in the England goal in the second leg in Romania. England got a clean sheet and qualified. Butland off his line quickly enough. I saw the run from DESPOTOVIC. England tonight hoping for a 7th consecutive home win in competitive games, and it will be the first time they've managed that since Dave Sexton was in charge back in the mid-80s. 27 years. You were probably in the team, Clive, were you?
I was involved at the time. What a great coach he was, Dave Sexton.
That's when England qualified for 6 successive European Championships at the beginning of that cycle of tournaments, which started back in 1978. In fact, England met Yugoslavia in '78 in a very controversial game, of which more in a moment. Throw here in an advanced position, which Sterling will go across to take. And will leave it ultimately for Adam Smith. And now to play for a Serbian throw. That game in '78, Yugoslavia won. It was the only time they've ever beaten England at this level. Their only win against an England under-21 side, with Vahid Alihodzic, who went on to manage Lille and PSG, scoring both goals. The winner came 3 minutes from time after England had been awarded a free kick on the edge of the opponent's penalty area, with the referee looking the other way. The Yugoslavian player kicked the ball away. Steve Williams returned the ball. Steve Sims put it down again for the free kick. The referee hadn't realised what was going on, gave a handball against Sims, and from that resulting free kick, Yugoslavia went up the other end and scored the winner.
Let's just make sure it doesn't happen this evening.
Excellent play by Henderson. And after Gedelia's initial interception, it's Rose that can keep the move alive for England. Sterling. Smith. Never willing to push forward from right back, the Tottenham man. Now Jack Rodwell. Henderson. INCE. It's his best of the game so far, but still he can't beat Aleksic.
It's a good build-up from England. Raheem plays a short, crisp pass inside, and you can see as soon as Thomas comes onto that favoured left foot, it's a good strike, unfortunately just a yard wide, but worth the effort.
Well, you know, if you're Thomas Ince and you miss a chance, it's not just a question of missing a chance, it's the fact that you're incurring the wrath of your dad.
I think he's a proud man sitting there watching his young son playing for England tonight. He'll be bitterly disappointed that he hasn't taken his chances, but this young man knows more than anybody that he's had opportunities to put England in front. He's been bright, and he's certainly been England's biggest threat.
Offside flags up here. Not too much stoppage time to be added on at the end of the first half, in which England have been the dominant team. Stewart and Steve Wigley alongside him will be probably happier than Alexander Jankovic, his Serbian counterpart. Foul on Rose by LAZOVIC.
I'm sure Stuart will be pleased. He'll go in at half-time. He'll just make sure, he'll certainly emphasise not to get frustrated, because they've been dominant, England. They've created opportunities. If they play with the same tempo, the same purpose in the second half, I'm sure that they will create themselves more chances.
Aerial pass from Dawson. Play again by Smith. Henderson. Sordell. Back he comes, another decent opportunity. This time Jordan Henderson running onto it.
That's good play from England. The opportunity for Henderson to play into the front man, Sordell. Good touch, excellent layoff. And had that been on target, I'm sure we should have seen the net bulging. Good run from Jordan, good link-up play from Marvin Sordell.
The England fans were treated to a belter in the first leg against Romania 2 years ago here at Carrow Road. All the goals in the last half hour of that game. 2-1, England won it. Here's Henderson, and a chance for England again right at the end of the half with INCE. Sterling. And there will be time for England to take this corner.
It's a good, strong finish. It's an opportunity now. It needs a good delivery.
Colker and Dawson again have made their ways forward. Here's Henderson. Closed down quickly. Just tipped over the bar, no time to take that corner. And we go in at half-time, a quarter of the way through this two-legged game, with England yet to be able to break the deadlock. But it's been a much improved performance, their best in the qualifier for a while. Half-time at Carrow Road, England 0.
Jason Lowe's coming on for Jack Rodwell. I think he's got a hamstring injury, Jack Rodwell.
I mean, we have to go for it now. So the second half, and we need to attack it, and hopefully these guys come in. Jason and does ever so well. So I haven't really seen that much of him playing lately, but I'm hearing he's a very good player, and hopefully he's coming in and do ever so well for the team.
Roberto Mancini won't be happy, will he? OK, it's back to Clive Allen and Jim Proudfoot for the second half.
Thank you, Rebecca. So, a straight swap in the heart of midfield. You have to feel for Jack Rodwell. That hamstring has been the blight of his career over the last year or so. Missed the last couple of qualifiers as a result of it, and finds himself off at half-time. Jason Lowe on to replace him, which might give Henderson a little bit more licence to push forward. Lowe will sit slightly more than Rodwell does. Clive, I wonder what you think the par score is at the end of this first leg. I think that England felt that a clean sheet would be enough, but is 0-0 good enough for you?
Well, there's no doubt that a clean sheet is imperative. It was what Stuart Pearce, I think, will be telling the players, certainly to have confidence at the start of the second half, after the first half performance, that chances will be created, but the concentration has to be at the utmost all the time. just switching off for 1 second could cost us dear.
Sterling finding Smith here. Back for Sterling. Had a very bright start at the beginning of the first half. Great tempo being shown. And they try to start the second half in a similar manner. Henderson's ball in here. So they're hoping that he's won the corner. He has.
Good break start, real clever play, and really tenacious from Raheem Sterling. The back heel from Adam Smith was a poor one, but he made it. He made something of it.
Variation on the theme from England as the corner is worked short in from Thomas Ince. Enough elevation on the delivery that time. Milivojevic. MLADENOVIC between them able to get the ball clear, but not very far clear as Ince brings it forward again. Now Basic. Danger man LAZOVIC. Taking on Kolka.
Jim, that's where certainly defenders will get frustrated. There's no problem in working the short corner down this side, but the delivery has to come in. They come all the way up the field to get in an advanced position, an opportunity that they sense. They just want a delivery, something that they can attack. And no problem with the short corner, but the ball's got to be delivered.
Serbia not working that as well as they might have done, as ZAHA has found plenty of space here for England. He's got Danny Rose making his way forward. Ince and Sordell both making good ground through the middle. Once more, the referee thought it was a legitimate challenge on Rose. Now Rose out of position. Dawson will go across. The ball's gone out of play.
Danny took a heavy hit there. There was no doubt that the ball was played forward. The defender just stepped across him, blocked him off. Inconsistencies of the referee.
Danny Rose is okay, incidentally, after that heavy challenge. A good job that he is. England don't have a natural replacement for him at left back. And Tom Lees potentially could play there. I think Jason Lowe might be the player that would move out to left back if Rose went off injured. And here he is bringing the ball forward, just couldn't get it into his stride effectively. Good play again by LAZOVIC. Back from Dawson. Henderson. Sterling backpedaling, trying to provide as much width as possible for England. Back he comes from Smith.
The front players have just stopped spinning in behind, Jim. They're all coming short. They're all coming into a position where it's crowded. We need someone unselfishly just to spin and run away in behind the Serbian defence, just to stretch them.
Low for Henderson. Now Kolka. Elevated pass, which is going to skip off the playing surface. Just gave Adam Smith too much to do.
It's a good run from Adam Smith. A difficult ball for Stephen Korka to execute. And when it's straight like that on a surface like tonight's, just skids and runs away.
5 minutes into the second half. Stuart Pearce still waiting for his side to find the breakthrough.
You can see the tension in his face, Jim. He's really trying to drive the team forward. He's trying to get pressure higher up the field. He felt there that the ball played back to the goalkeeper should have been pressed quicker.
MLADENOVIC. England, the only nation to qualify for each of the last 3 European Championships. They've got an excellent record in the playoffs. They've won the last 3, obviously, and 5 out of 7 all told. Go back to 2006 when they lost to France. The last time that England failed to reach the European Championships. Greece, the only other side who have eliminated England. Here's INCE. Let the ball run out of play for a corner.
Good movement again, though. Thomas saw the space that had been created by the run from WILFRIED ZAHA from in to out. He went and occupied that space and gave Danny Rose the opportunity to slide it into him.
And the second corner of the second half. Jordan Henderson to take it with Dawson making the run in towards the near post. And well played by Aleksic.
Wilfried's backing into him, but it is a good claim by the goalkeeper. Defenders so happy when they see their goalkeeper claim it like that.
Well, encouragingly for England, Serbia were happy to play on the counter-attack in the first half. They're even more defensive-minded since the resumption. Just happy to get the ball out of harm's way. There hasn't been any sign of attacking threat for them so far. This 0-0 will be an excellent result for Alexander Jankovic. Second leg in Kruzovac on Tuesday has sold out. There'll be a crowd of around 14,000.
He'll be happy. He'll take a 0-0. And you can see already his players, I'm sure, are under instruction to run the clock down to make it very, very frustrating for England.
And of course for Stuart Pearce, it's a difficult dilemma. At what stage and to what level do England gamble to try and get a first leg advantage? Bearing in mind that Serbia are pretty potent on the counter-attack. Gudelja away from Zaha, and he's found LAZOVIC in space. Now Basic. Holker that made the block, cleared by Smith. Sterling holding the ball up and being held up himself by MLADENOVIC.
It might be a case, Jim, of when they counter-attack like they did there, Serbia, that when the ball is turned over, that we play very quickly, we play forward quickly with real intent to play the ball forward quickly and move. People run forward in getting advanced positions when the Serbians are out of shape, because when they get into shape, they're very, very compact, very difficult to go through.
Henderson picking the aerial route to look for Marvin Sordell. Now Jason Lowe. Sordell working in wide for Zaha. Rose. That's one of the criticisms that has been levelled of England throughout this campaign. Sometimes when they get themselves into that position, the quality of delivery isn't good enough, and unfortunately those inconsistencies have been visible again tonight.
It is quality. It's qualities that's required. It's a cross that's poor when it goes cleanly into the goalkeeper's hands with no pressure, and gives the attacking players no opportunity to make a header or any physical challenge.
Pantic. Now Kolka. Henderson. WILFRIED ZAHA losing possession. Picked up again by Henderson. Now Kolka. 16 and lost only 2 of their last 20-odd competitive internationals at home. How they need something here. It's good advantage played by the referee as Sterling was brought down. Zaha trying to go the long way round. Ultimately only a corner.
Well, it was almost a split second that everybody stopped expecting Raheem Sterling to win the free kick. This is positive. It really is direct. He draws what should have been a free kick there. The referee gives advantage. Be ruthless. Get the opportunity. WILFRIED, quick feet and a shot.
Flighted ball in from Henderson. Kolka's header. And Kolka winning the second ball as well. Sterling. Excellent play from Raheem Sterling. He's still waiting for his first goal in Liverpool colours and making his debut for the under-21s tonight. He's had a couple of opportunities, but he's not short of self-confidence, Clive.
Real confidence, really positive. Here, just really striking across the ball. Very, very difficult to control the shot, but this is what he's about. This is where he's so dangerous. That was a free kick for me. The referee gives advantage, then we must make it count. WILFRIED ZAHA should have profited from that, but really good play from young Sterling.
The player will still be eligible to play in the 2017 European Championships. Play just going to be stopping here because ZAHA has picked up an injury. Markovic sportingly putting the ball out of play so he could receive some treatment.
I think he got a blow in the face. You see the left elbow there, yeah, right on the chin. Come on, WILFRIED, you've got to get up from those. Good boy.
Delia that made the challenge. So one principal attacking option on the bench for England, which is Connor Wickham. Wickham has scored the winner against Norway in the most recent qualifier and has been sent out to warm up by Stuart Pearce. I'd imagine that we will see him sooner rather than later if it stays 0-0. His shirt there ready, as you can see.
You could understand Stuart's thinking with the possible introduction of Connor Wickham. Physical presence, a target.
Serbia getting ready to make a change, incidentally. And Jojic will be on shortly for them. MLADENOVIC. It's a good ball in from the fullback. Decent header away from Dawson. Good technique from LAZOVIC, as you would expect, but he couldn't keep it down.
It's a fabulous cross from the left. Adam just doesn't quite get there quick enough to stop the cross. And when the header goes up into the air, LAZOVIC shows great technique. Fortunately for England, the ball's just too high to keep down and get on target.
So the change that is being made, we'll see Malbasic come off and he will be replaced by Milos Jojic at Partizan Belgrade, who scored twice after coming on as a substitute against Macedonia in one of the qualifiers. Jojic usually plays in the middle of midfield. That's the man who was out on the left-hand side, although he wasn't playing as an orthodox winger by any stretch of the imagination. Tucked in on that left-hand side. So half an hour to go. You sense that Jankovic is just putting another body behind the ball, really.
Fresh legs. And certainly just a little bit more security.
Back from Markovic. Medijevic. LAZOVIC. Ball in behind Milanovic. Potentially was a dangerous cross. Might have made more of that opening. An opportunity for Jason Lowe of Blackburn to bring the ball forward here. Now Henderson. INCE. Some rather fine ZAHA. Sordell waiting in the middle. He's gone for goal himself. And Medijevic, after a decent save from Aleksic, can clear the danger.
Thing was, Jim, it come from a turnover at Serbia in our half. We were quick. Jason Lowe was very positive in going forward and moved the ball across the field very quick to WILFRIED ZAHA. Good effort.
Offside flag is up here as Dawson plays it forward quickly for WILFRIED ZAHA, but it's a promising moment from the young Crystal Palace player.
It's a good strike. Good height for the keeper, but really positive from England, and there where the opportunities are coming to come. Quick counter-attacking play when Serbia turned the ball over.
MLADENOVIC. He's able to get his foot in. Dawson playing it forward, INCE hoping that he was going to be able to roll Pantic on the halfway line. MLADENOVIC with a nice touch. MLADENOVIC's cross blocked by Kolka at the expense of a throw.
Good defending from Stephen Kolka, important to cut out those crosses.
MLADENOVIC again. Sterling coming back to aid Adam Smith. England's industry rewarded with another turnover and a throw. Taken quickly by Smith for Henderson. Last 5 minutes for possession has seen the Serbians take the upper hand, Clive. Not that that possession has been in dangerous areas necessarily, but England, with the tight poise as it is, goalless after the opening hour, need the ball at their feet rather than surrendering the possession, as has been the case.
And it's just a way of them taking the sting out of the game, trying to control certainly possession and tempo, and frustrating England.
Sterling. Jack Rodwell back out to watch the remainder of the game, having had a little bit of treatment in the dressing room. I have to say that you would imagine those symptoms mean that he's unlikely to make the trip to Serbia. The potential is for John Joe Shelby to come back into the squad. He's with the seniors tonight. Henderson with the ball over the top, might fall for Sordell here, and then the boot was raised, and it's another free kick to Serbia.
Yeah, Marvin's frustrated there because the referee's pulled him up, because as the ball comes back from Thomas Ince, he just lifts his feet, shows the studs, and the referee very, very quick to pull him up on that.
Exerted his authority on the game in the early stages. Referee DENIZ AYTEKIN. 3 bookings in the opening 7 minutes, but only 1 in the hour or so since then. Paul out from the back by Kolka, or Sterling just a little bit caught on his heels, not expecting it. No harm done for England as Smith invited forward again. ZAHA has taken up a great position at the far post, slid towards Sordell. Did it hit a hand in there from MLADENOVIC? Then Smith goes down, and it's a penalty to England.
Adam Smith does absolutely fantastic there. Not only drawing the foul, but the run down the right, the cross was a fantastic one, well defended, but he couldn't clear it as he couldn't get up off the floor. He was bright, he was quick, he got the first touch of the ball, and the challenge makes contact. The break England needed.
MLADENOVIC was the defender, and he didn't think he'd made any contact. He very quickly sought counsel with the linesman, but the penalty has been given, and it's Craig Dawson, England's top scorer in this qualifying campaign, who's about to take the biggest penalty of his career today. No mistake at all! A man whose nerve is consistently held, a player who Stuart Pearce admires for his character, which is everything you need to know about Craig Dawson, and he's shown character and abundance there. England strike first in the playoff for Israel.
Well, we shouldn't have had any doubt whatsoever, should we? The young man stepped up on an unerring strike. Fabulous penalty to put England in front, nothing more than they deserve.
Five goals in 8 games in this qualifying campaign for Craig Dawson, which isn't bad for a centre-half. And And England will make another change. Raheem Sterling will be replaced by Andros Townsend. So England's second change being made in the immediate aftermath of the goal. I think Sterling can be very impressed with his debut. And Townsend comes on for his debut. The 34th player used in this campaign. Serbia are making a change as well. And Markovic, a defensive-minded midfielder, will come off. And he will be replaced by Goran Čaušić. Čaušić on for his debut. And that's a like-for-like swap in the heart of the midfield. So change for each side, but England leading by a goal to nil, Clark.
It's a like-for-like swap for England. Andros will come in on that left-hand side. WILFRIED ZAHA coming back on the right. But certainly, as you rightly said, Raheem Sterling should be very, very pleased with his debut that he's made tonight. Very effective, very positive, a good performance.
Think back to 2 years ago, to the game against Romania, where England took the lead at a similar stage of the game and were pegged back, not quite instantly, but certainly within 6-7 minutes by a Ryan Bertrand own goal. And they have to make sure that they don't allow a concession, Serbia, to get back with an away goal. Medijevic just managing to get his feet right to get the ball away from Sordell. Undoubtedly Serbia will be much more industrious and attacking now in the quarter of the game that remains.
A crucial stage of the game. Stuart knows that. I think it's a penalty, Jim. I've got to say, Adam Smith gets to the ball first. He plays the ball. There's not a lot of contact, but he certainly... And you can see the delight from the England supporters. Great penalty from Craig Dawson.
Here he is in possession again, finding Rose. England have got their noses in front. Can they double the lead? It's ZAHA. Plenty of time to judge what he wants to do, and he's just missed that far post.
What a good play down the left-hand side. Danny Rose, Andros Townsend, Thomas Ince picks WILFRIED ZAHA out. I think there's a little bit of frustration from the front players inside. You can understand why WILFRIED goes for the shot, but he must hit the target.
MLADENOVIC draws the free kick out of Adam Smith. Two players who are involved in the penalty incident at the other end, and England have got another problem here. Sordell down injured.
There's a nice buzz in the stadium now, isn't there?
Road working its magic again for England, who've won 4 out of 4 games that they played at under 21 level here down the years. Sordell isn't 10 yards away. That's why the Serbians were waiting. It's a long-range effort from Kadelja. Didn't lack for power at all, and wasn't bad in terms of direction.
Well, there was clear intent, and it's a wonderful strike. I'm not sure that Jack Buckland could have done a lot about it. If it had been on target, it would have been a difficult one to deal with. Still, England must concentrate. There is a threat.
Only one attempt on target for Jankovic's men, but they will be a completely different prospect when they meet in Kruševac on Tuesday. Scored 5 goals in 2 of their 4 home qualifiers. Here's Henderson now for England. Space again for Ince. Lowe exchanging passes with Dawson, the goal scorer. Townsend. very neat and tidy in possession, and he gets the free kick.
That's Andros, nice and lively, bright, quick feet, draws the free kick. Poor challenge. That for me could well be a yellow card. Dangerous play.
According to the parameters that the referee laid down in the first 10 minutes of the game, should have been a yellow card. But you want to see players booked. Here's Townsend. Hit the ground running on his under-21 debut. Ball in towards Henderson. Cleared by Pantic. Rose. Townsend again. Very nicely done. INCE. And that will be a yellow card. It's Medijevic who will receive it.
Quite right as well. But real good persistence from Andros Townsend. And fabulous work from Thomas INCE to draw the foul. You can see here protecting the ball, moving the ball, making it very, very difficult for the defender. Referee quite right on this situation.
Henderson's delivery. Dawson with good movement got himself back onside before it was played in, but Aleksic able to gather at the second attempt. England had to make sure they didn't lose their defensive shape with the big guns having pushed forward, but Lowe and Smith have come into a central position. And it's out of play for a Serbian throw. Serbia, one of 4 teams, only 4 teams who are unbeaten in qualifying. England weren't, of course. They lost in Belgium, but won the other 7. Only 1 competitive defeat in 3 years is a decent record, but England might make it worse. No foul on Townsend. He didn't appeal for one either. Here's from Gudelia.
Good pressure again from England. They turn the ball over, Andros loses it, but quickly back up, pressing the Serbians, not allowing them to play out.
Townsend, another player who's benefited from the loan system. Only played 8 minutes of Premier League football, but has more than 100 games behind him, having represented the likes of Leeds and Birmingham. Adam Smith, another Tottenham player who's benefited from being out on loan. Also the spell at Leeds and the MK Dons, and Danny Rose, of course, now at Sunderland. It's important that these youngsters get first-team football, which might not be available for them at their parent club, and understandably so in some cases.
Yeah, it's been a policy that Spurs have adopted over the last couple of years, and no one more so than Stephen Corker has profited from his experience at Swansea last year.
Foul on Dawson, so England leading by a goal to nil with just over 15 minutes of the first leg to go, and the second leg is coming up on Tuesday. 4:30 we're on air for a 5 o'clock kickoff, and Belgium-Scotland, the World Cup qualifier, will be immediately after it. That one kicking off at 7:15. Both those games in high definition. Tuesday, ESPN. Details of all our live football at espn.co.uk.
I did say earlier, Jim, I didn't think the game would be finished tonight, but you can be sure it will be quite a cracker.
Now Aleksic out very quickly, had to make sure that he got the ball there because there was no margin for error as Sordow came in.
As this game is delicately poised. It's good quick play again, and a fantastic diagonal ball in behind the defender. The keeper's made 2 good interceptions from through balls from England this evening.
Milunovic. Not his best, it has to be said. Crowd tonight here at Carrow Road of A little over 17,000, bearing in mind that they've only had 3 weeks to sell tickets for this game. Well, the FA have been very impressed with the job that the marketing department of Norwich City have done for them here. It's been a good atmosphere tonight. At the moment, all but about the 66 are going home happy.
Oh, it's fantastic that they turn out in these numbers to support England's under-21s, and that's why the FA do bring the England games here.
Ball from Townsend, MLADENOVIC, who was booked only a few moments ago. Challenge on Sordal. Free kick taken quickly by Henderson. There's a decent ball inside the penalty area intended for INCE, but more good goalkeeping from Aleksic. You know a thing or two from your playing career about the strengths of a goalkeeper called Aleksic.
Yeah, that's right. Certainly a fantastic goalkeeper at Spurs.
They're not related, because yours was born in Newcastle under Lyme.
I have to say that young Andros Townsend has made a good impression coming on. He is a real live wire. He's been a threat since being introduced on that left-hand side.
13 minutes to go. We're about to see their final England change. Former Ipswich man about to come on at Carrow Road. Always goes down well. Connor Wickham of Sunderland coming on to replace Marvin Sordal. Yet to feature for Sunderland this season, Connor Wickham. Coming on to replace another player who hasn't seen too much action. Marvin Sordal scoring only the once for Bolton this season, but he's held the ball up well, and Wickham will come on to replace him. Battering ram of a striker that will cause physical problems for the two centre-halves. Add to the winner he scored against Norway last time.
It's no surprise that he's been given a warm welcome by the Norwich faithful. It'll be great to see him get involved, and I'm sure he's going to relish the opportunity with, as you say, not a lot of game time at Sunderland so far this season.
Tonight, giving a full competitive debut to Kyle Walker at right back. Walker, one of the players who would have been eligible to play for the under-21s this evening, but very much part of Roy Hodgson's plans now. Here is Wickham. MLADENOVIC surviving the loss of balance to get the ball away. Back from Dawson. And put out of play by LAZOVIC, because he's picked up a knock.
He pulled up very quickly, looking like some kind of muscle pull.
Well, that's a big blow for Serbia, because he's been excellent tonight. He's lived up to his reputation. You can play him no higher compliment than that. It's Nemanja Kojic who's going to come on to replace him for the last 10 minutes, but LAZOVIC isn't available for the second leg. That's a huge blow for Aleksandar Jankovic.
Well, the thing is, he pulled up very quickly and obviously left the field of play, but he certainly was Serbia's major threat this evening.
Here's MLADENOVIC. Well, Adam Smith did just enough to force him wide in the last moment.
He did just enough, Jim, and I'm just glad he stayed on his feet, because you could just sense that he might have just thrown himself in to try to block this attempt. Yeah, it's good defending in the end from Adam. He just about gets enough pressure to stop the Serbian striker getting his shot on target.
INCE surviving the nutmeg is a very good recovery from him. Now Wickham, and England will bring it forward with Thomas INCE. An opportunity to get a crucial second goal, but a brilliant sliding challenge from MLADENOVIC denies him. That was high quality defending from the Serbia captain.
Well, the Serbian captain's been their best defender by far this evening, and this is a great recovery run and interception. Thomas again just taking a touch that's just slightly too far out of his feet, but great defending from the captain.
Another who plays his football in the Bundesliga with Wolfsburg. You can see why he's an export from the Serbian league. He's an excellent piece of defending. The scope for improvement on England's set pieces in the second leg.
Delivery's been poor tonight on too many occasions, not given opportunities for certainly our centre halves who are up to anything to attack.
Serbian coaches were off the bench very quickly there. Not at all happy with the decision. ALEKSANDAR is being told by the referee that any more visible dissent like that will see watch the rest of the game from the director's box. Here's Townsend. 20-minute cameo since coming on is another positive that Stuart, Pearce and co will take out of tonight.
What he's been very direct, he's drawn fouls, he's been positive. And it's good to see that England are not sitting back, protecting a lead, they're looking to get a second goal.
Kolka's making his way forward again. Bringing the defenders in with him. And he's in towards Kolka! What a save! England denied that crucial second goal by a fantastic stop from Aleksic.
Stephen Kolka thinks he's scored. It's a great ball from Andros Townsend into that back post, and you can see Kolka with real intent to get his head onto the ball. Good header, fine stop from the keeper.
Scored his first Premier League goal of his career last weekend, nearly scored here. Townsend with the disappointing corner this time. And Serbia switching the ball quickly with Čaušić. JANKOVIC will be more than happy to field those.
Well, he's had a couple of attempts already earlier, and they've been very, very far out with very little opportunity or chance to score. This young man will be delighted if the efforts are going to come from that far and as poor.
Throw from Gudelia. Space for Čaušić. Space that was closed down very quickly by INCE, who's been given the free kick. Last time these two sides met on English soil, England needed an 88th minute winner. It came from Darren Bent in the game in Hull 9 years ago. It's tight going into the closing stages of this one as well. And England will be happy if it stays 1-0. They will consider that a job well done. Jason Lowe did well there to stop Kojic getting a decent jump towards the ball. Henderson beaten. Kojic making the run forward here. And Smith and Kolka between them were able to deal with him. Poor clearance though from Smith. MLADENOVIC. Well left by Rose.
I think the two central defenders for England have been very, very controlled, very comfortable this evening. They've just got to see it out now. As you can see, the England coach, I think, will be delighted with the team's performance, but he knows now the worst thing that could happen would be to concede at this late stage.
Talk about how many different players England have used in the qualifying campaign, and from that point of view it makes it imperative for team building, players that don't know each other. They've had a night at the Speedway this week watching Kings Lynn. They've got a quiz night lined up before they go out to Serbia, but nothing will bond the team like an important win, and they're just minutes away from getting that achieved.
And a big win as well it would be, Jim, and give them a lot of confidence, certainly in the way that they've played.
Wigan would have rather had the ball over the top there from ZAHA. Here's MLADENOVIC. Pass Jojic. Rose. Henderson. Forward again from Godelia. Clean sheet imperative for England here. Another excellent block from Dawson. Wickham for Henderson. Now Townsend. Good play by Wickham. Slipped the ball down the side of Godelia. Townsend couldn't get there. Polka there ahead of Kojic. Now Rose. 3 minutes left for England. There'll be a similar amount of stoppage time to be added. Townsend. Held up well by Wickham. Wickham into play didn't come off. Good block by the referee as Serbia tried to bring the ball forward. And Vojic running into him. Here's MLADENOVIC. Čausić. Header away from Smith. Picked up by Kojic. Dangerous moments these for England. Haven't had too much defending to do in this position. Godelia. And Godelia's continued his run forward. 3 targets for him. Pulled back. Excellent block to deny DESPOTOVIC. England defending well again. Still the danger not clear. Čausić. INCE with the blockers. Milivojevic trying to play the ball forward. In it comes. And Rose with all the time in the world to let it run across him before being able to get it away. But another important piece of defending.
Fantastic block from Craig Dawson. We see him step up with great confidence to strike the penalty. But that block was just as important. It was a sustained pressure from Serbia. They've got in behind the England defence, and when the ball's cut back, you can see he throws himself in front of the shot to block. Wonderful defending.
Well, there was a moment there off the ball between Connor Wickham and MLADENOVIC. Just keep watching. As Wickham stands firm. Doesn't appear to do an awful lot wrong there, but took exception, and that, it has to be said, just a little bit naughty, the flailing arm. The Serbian bench were up as one, protesting about that, but no yellow card from the referee.
Absolute nothing, but silly. Silly sort of reaction that can cost you dear. Just glad he didn't make any contact.
Jack Butland in no hurry here. Three extra minutes to be added. Here's Townsend. Can INCE keep it in? Yes, he can. Now Townsend. INCE. Oh, he's offside.
Combined on a couple of occasions already earlier on since Andros's introduction, and that is a close call. I'm not sure when Andros slides Thomas INCE in there that he's actually offside.
Extra ball on the pitch. Aleksic deals with himself. I'm sure the extra seconds will be added on. Smith there ahead of MLADENOVIC. Free kick goes England's way. Another opportunity to run the clock down.
I think he'll take 1-0. I think he'll be very happy with the performance. Tinged with just slight disappointment with the number of chances created. He knows this game is far from over, or the tie's far from over, with what I'm sure will be a thriller on Tuesday night.
Wickham. ZAHA. Has the outlet of Thomas Ince. Henderson. He's capable of the spectacular now. ZAHA trying to go the long way round, and England will make do with a corner. And just
nothing silly, WILFRIED.
Well, he's already been booked, MLADENOVIC. ZAHA doing well to make sure he didn't rise to any potential bait. Townsend. It's INCE. Well defended. Kojic back. The potential of the counter-attack dissipated by a poor ball out from the back.
Just pure frustration for young Thomas Ince, because again the ball worked really well from the short corner, got into a fantastic position on the corner of the 6-yard box, just can't execute it at the final second.
Well, the job isn't done yet, but as England look to qualify for a 4th successive tournament for the first time since the 1980s, Stuart Pearce will be happy, not just with the performance, but with the result as well. Craig Dawson keeps